The fact I'm a football coach. It's a competitive thing. I despise for people to beat us.
To Elliott, who goes sweeping to the left side. Gets to the 20, loose to the 30, to the 40, down the left side, to the 50 goes Elliott. He's going to take it to the house. 30, 20, 10. Touchdown, Ezekiel Elliott. 85 yards. Back is Dorsey to throw. And he throws it in the end zone. It's incomplete. The Buckeyes win the national championship.
It's Everything Buckeye Nation, the voice of the fan, with your hosts, Jake Smith and Corey Boyd.
Welcome in, everybody, to the Everything Buckeye Nation show. Here, a Producer G production on Fan Chat Nation. Corey, are you with us
I am
tonight,
with
brother?
you, doodling on technology.
Look at this guy.
Technology taking over the world, trying to share us out to the world.
I guess so. Well, I appreciate that.
You know,
putting work in.
doing what I do.
Hey, that's what we're supposed to do here. Welcome in. Lovely evening here in the capital city. Glad you could join us. Appreciate you tuning in. We have some college football ratings to get to. We will here momentarily. Lots to get to tonight. Big win over the Spartans on Saturday. I'm still riding high from it. I don't know about you guys. I was pumped. I was happy all day. That win over the Spartans on Saturday just made my whole weekend. I got to say.
Whole weekend?
Yeah, man.
The whole weekend?
I swear. Well, see, I'm not a Browns fan.
Okay.
Or, you know, I mean, I root for
Dallas
them,
won?
but Dallas won, too.
So,
It was a good weekend.
there you
man.
go.
Great weekend, really. So, lots to get to. We got the new rankings that just came out about half hour ago or so. We'll recap some Buckeye Spartans, give our players of the game, talk about some college football, look ahead to the Maryland game. And we had some fun today on the internet, from what I heard.
oh, did we?
So if you guys want to talk about that, we can. A certain reporter who shall remain nameless for the time being. We'll talk about it if you guys want to, but for now, I think we should start.
Let's get it.
You want to start with the rankings?
Might as well do it.
Might as well.
Let's
do
go.
it. Let's get the
Let's
rankings
get it
going
in.
here. Appreciate everybody tuning in already. John Goddard, Carrie Lynn, Lee Travis, Kyle Barr, our folks here.
They love
Appreciate
Tuesdays.
you
Lee
all.
said he loves Tuesdays,
Corey
7:30.
Shoemaker, I.O., baby. Paul, thank you. Brian, hello, hello. Welcome in. Let's have a good show tonight. So, if we've got the rankings going here, nothing crazy really this week. I mean, nobody in the top 10 lost. Top 10 didn't change for the first time in college football playoff rankings history. That the top 10 did not change.
In history.
Yep. I mean, hell, it's only been, 4 weeks? But, you know, I don't know.
I'm not shocked, to be honest with you.
I'm not. I mean, nobody
really,
lost.
I'm really not shocked.
So
No.
there really wasn't a whole lot that changed from last week to this week. Steve, can we get the rankings pulled up there? We'll get our show you what just came out here, and you'll be able to see. So we are getting there as well. Let us know what you guys think. Carrie says at least Auburn dropped out of the top 25 as they should have. We'll get to the SEC in that conversation later.
The best darn conference in America.
It just means more.
Yes.
That's what they say. It
The
just
SEC.
means more.
Gotta love it. And there you see, scrolling across the screen, The beautiful top 25. Our producers here try to make us look
My
the best
Bearcats.
as possible.
My Bearcats.
Your Bearcats in the top 25.
24. They got
Luke Fickle.
game day this Saturday.
Luke
and
Fickle
Saturday
is
night.
doing his thing in Cincinnati. I cannot hate. What are your thoughts on the top 25? Let us know. Are you mad, upset the Buckeyes are still number 10? Should they be right there? Give us a shout. Let us know where you are from.
Well, you know, I'm a little curious that LSU is still at number 7. I mean, they've got 2 losses, and they beat Arkansas on Saturday by 7. It was like 24-17, something really ugly game. And Arkansas, I believe, is 2-8.
Wow.
Yikes.
It's pretty good.
Sounds like the number 7 team in the country to me.
Hey,
Not beating a team on the road in 30-degree weather, arch rival. Maybe not arch rival, but a good rival. Beat them by 20 on the road. Come on, man. We should be higher than 10. I'm not saying we should be number 1 or in the top 4. But I think 10's a little, I don't know, a little iffy for me. A little iffy for me. What do you think?
Shawnee says, what's up? Hey, Shawnee. How
Hey,
you
Shawnee.
doing? Sister of Mike Weber. If you guys didn't know, just wanted to throw a little history out there for you guys.
Bingo.
If you're new to the show, just wanted to get that out there.
One of us will be giving out a Buckeye leaf to Mr. Mike Weber here later today.
Marco says, what up, guys?
tuned.
What up, Corey?
Hey, Marco.
Buckeye from Colorado, Eric Wilson. You know, I think I'm not mad at Ohio State's at number 10. I'm really not. Like I keep trying to explain. Purdue is still stuck in their head. That is what's in their brain is Purdue, whether that's right or whether that is wrong. That beat down that we received from Purdue, they're waiting for the team up north. That's the game that they're waiting for.
Sure.
They said, okay, what are you made of come that Saturday? They wasn't looking for Michigan State. And like you said, nobody lost. Unless we went out there and just totally dominated them, like a 52-6 type deal.
Well,
or, you know, a shutout like the Wisconsin Big Ten title type deal.
hey.
Then okay.
Now we're talking.
But Purdue is stuck in their head, and they are using that against us, and I can't say anything.
No, you know what? You can't really blame them. I mean, that's still fresh in a lot of people's minds. Everybody sees Ohio State there, and they think, well, yeah, they're 9-1. That's all fine and dandy, but how about the shellacking at the hands of the Boilermakers? Kyle Barr says, by the way, Washington State, who is at number 8, lost to USC, who is worse than Purdue. And, you know, that's up for debate, but Purdue, you know, anytime I don't even really remember the final score, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
But it was 25, 30 points. I mean, what the hell, man? David Campbell here puts it very well. We need consistency. I think we started to put it together last week against Michigan State. I was very happy with that performance. How about the defense, the special teams? I never would have thought, you know, going into the game, I thought, well, while we're going up against a tough rushing defense, but we should be able to go through the air pretty well. Turns out we didn't really go through the air that well, and our rushing game was pretty solid. And our defense, man, where's this team been? I know Michigan State's offense isn't the greatest in the world, but it's nice to see them still perform. You know what I mean? Nebraska's offense isn't that good, and we didn't see that type of performance against them. So we'll see.
Kerry Lynn said we should schedule teams like Citadel. I like that. We should.
Why not?
I like that. That's a good suggestion.
If you're not going to get punished for it, why not?
Kyle says best defense performance all season, and Bowie says, and they brought Tate out, which I did like. Hey, you know,
there you go.
I try to be as fair as possible.
Sure,
now,
you're a fair guy.
I do have my biases, like we all do. We're all human. I am biased to Dwayne Haskins because he's my guy. But I know I did say, I don't want a 2-quarterback system. I don't want to see it. I don't want to hear it.
It doesn't
No,
work.
it don't work. Shut up if you talk about it. Well, I backed off a little bit because I said I want to see it in the red zone because we have struggled over the past couple of weeks. I called for it a couple weeks ago. It didn't happen.
Yep.
It happened last week. And let me tell you, as soon as he got in the game, now there will be film now, but Michigan State didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
They look frazzled like they never seen a running quarterback in their life. And they're all over the place. That's what college football is. They didn't know what to do. The holes were just wide open when he came into the game because of that threat, and that's why I wanted it in the red zone. If we struggle to score the ball, it brings that dynamic that we've been missing. And you know Urban is itching to have his quarterback run the ball.
Oh, gosh.
He runs Haskins, for goodness sake. That's all I'm saying.
I said this to my wife on Saturday. He's like a moose running the ball. He's big and powerful, but he's not really agile. Well, you know, I don't know. I've never seen a moose in person.
And that's another thing I will criticize Haskins on. See, I'm capable of doing it. With that big frame that he has, there's no reason he shouldn't use it when he runs against the defenders.
Sure.
And he's scared to take a hit in the pocket.
The one time he finally gets out of the pocket, runs with some power, runs into somebody, and it's called back because I think it was Malcolm Pridgeon got somebody by the face mask.
Finally, and then nothing.
Come on, man. Hey, JP, thanks for tuning in, man. So the Buckeyes, if you missed it, took care of business against 26-6 against Michigan State. Did not move in the rankings, as you can see on your screen there. Really, nobody moved in the top 10, which is the first time in the rankings history. Kind of interesting there. But I think you're right, Corey. The committee, they're just waiting to see. Somebody said consistency.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really what it comes down to. I mean, if we show up and we destroy Maryland this weekend like the top 6 team should,
mm-hmm.
then, you know, I don't think we'll be moved up unless people lose ahead of us. But then, you know, it's the game.
Right.
Next Saturday. We got the number 4 team in the country coming to town. Mm-hmm. And if we show out and we take care of business, then they'll reevaluate. And then we'll get a shot at the Big Ten title and take care of business there. Then we'll see.
And that's exactly what I'm saying. That's exactly what we're waiting on. And while you're making those comments, let us know where you're commenting from. We want to know where everybody is at. And to piggyback off you, that's what they're waiting on. They're like, poo-poo Michigan State, poo-poo Maryland. We don't care anymore. We want to see what you do against a team up north who arguably has their best squad that they've had under Jim Harbaugh.
Sure.
To face us. They want to see what happens. You're at home. What do you do then? And then we'll decide what we do with you on the rankings. Obviously, you'll go up. How far do we move you? Let's see. But that's what they're waiting on. So if we beat – okay, you don't take any game lightly. But when we beat Maryland, we're going to be number 10. Unless a lot of people lose, and then we'll move up by default. Then we'll see what happens against the team up north and how far we go up. That's what they're waiting on.
That's what they're waiting on. We'll see. We'll take care of business against Maryland, I'm sure, and we need to have a strong showing. We'll see. We'll get to that game a little bit later here. Want to read some of these comments here. Kyle Elliott says, Tate fits Urban's offense better, though. Meyer has never run a pro-style offense. You see they're getting 5+ yards per carry every time. Like you said, it provides that the lanes were much wide open. I mean, the defensive ends aren't crashing down like they would against Dwayne Haskins because they know he's not running the ball. Mm-hmm. So, you know, a little bit different there. John Goddard, we got to get Tate a role on this team. He's far too good to lose, and we need a wrinkle. It was nice to see that little wrinkle at Tate Martell come in the ball game. You know, he only carried the ball once for 5 yards, but it was evident what it did for especially our running game. Eventually, he's going to need to throw the ball because if he comes in, everybody knows it's going to be a run. What's the point in playing? You might as well play press man and bring your 2 safeties. So we'll see. They'll be able to work it out. But
I'm glad you say that, and that's why I want to piggyback off. You made a good point. Now, that's what I think he's saving for the good teams.
I made a good point.
Very good point. Thanks. Against the team up north.
I
think that when they say he's saving something, that's what I think it is. Everybody knows he's capable of throwing the ball.
Sure.
But why show it against Michigan State when the game was pretty much in hand? Why show it against Maryland when you can beat them? You don't need to show him throwing then.
Sure.
But the team up north, pull out your bag. Everything you got. There's no point of saving it. So with Tate Martell there, that's when I believe when people say he's holding it back, that's the element I think that he's holding back against there that's when I think he's holding back is his throwing ability.
Sure. Yeah, we'll get to some of the stats here from the Michigan State game, Mike Weber, huge game for the kid. 22 carries, 104, 1 touchdown. He was the dependable back, really all game. Dobbins, I love that we have these two backs because last week Dobbins had an incredible game. And this past week, Weber steps up, and it's his, give me the rock. You know what I mean? And he was running with a whole hell of a lot of power. And that, that's his game too. It's cold. Yards are going to be tough to come by. Give the ball to Mike Weber. And Shawnee said it was a good game. She's watching from Detroit.
Shout out to Shawnee
Cass
Weber.
Tech.
Her brother.
Shout out, man.
Did his thing.
We had Kevin Jolly says, ESPN said if Bama loses, they would stay in the top 4. What do you think? Probably.
Amen to that.
They love their Bama there.
Kyle Barr said, amen, Corey. Exactly.
Wow.
I had to give myself a shout out when somebody gives me a shout out. But he's right. Bama's going nowhere if they lose. Just don't get mad, Buckeye Nation. Just embrace it with me. If Bama loses, they're going to 3. That's the farthest they will go.
Yeah.
Just be ready.
They're going to be in really no matter what. No matter what. Shawnee says, Mikey Weber. John Goddard says Weber's a beast. Everybody's talking about Mike Weber. Robert Collins talking about Brendan White. And Carrie Lynn in here running the show for us in the comments. Appreciate that. We appreciate
it.
So let's get back to the Michigan State game as a whole.
As a whole.
Some initial reactions, I think. My initial reaction was outstanding effort from the defense and special teams. Where did this come from? I remember talking to my wife when Drew Chrisman came out the first time to punt, and I was like, all right, we didn't have it all right there, but that's okay. Luckily, we've got an elite punter that we can rely on. And then what happened? A 4-yard punt.
I didn't know what happened.
Out of bounds.
I was like, what?
To the 10th row.
So was that a trick?
I don't know. What I did see was former Buckeye punter Jonathan Toma go on Twitter and said, broke my social media withdrawal because I got to say I am officially no longer the shortest punt in Ohio State football history. So congrats to him. I'm so glad Drew Chrisman came back. I mean, he was really the MVP of the game. Robert Collins says trestle ball. Kevin Miller, punting was beautiful. I mean, David Campbell, great punt. Game MVP, Drew Chrisman. He had an unbelievable game. We'll talk a lot about him later. But the defense and special teams, the defense really stepped up. They were playing angry. Tackling was much better than it has been really all season. I hardly saw any missed tackles, and that's the type of game that would kill you if you had any missed tackles. And we really were very, very sound on the tackling. That was huge, I thought.
I'm going to get to Michigan State, but I wanted to answer Eric Wilson's question. He said they lost to number 5 Georgia. Why wouldn't they? I wasn't singling out Georgia. I'm saying that if Alabama lost, period, to anyone,
even the Citadel,
they would stay in the top 4. I guarantee it. And that's not me hating on Alabama. That's just me knowing how the committee thinks. It's the clout that they have built over the years. They would not drop out of the top 4. I am telling you, it would not happen. Now, they're not going to lose the Citadel because they're too darn good for that, and who the heck is Citadel? But I'm just saying. Now, Georgia, yeah, why would they? It's Georgia. But I'm saying anybody they play, if they lose, they would not drop out of the top 4. Book it.
Book it. Take it to the bank. See, the first problem is they'd have to lose.
Right, and probably won't. I'm not throwing no shade at Alabama. They're that good.
Right.
They proved it against LSU, and I shut my mouth. I'm like, I'm done saying anything. I'm shutting up. You went to LSU and made them look like a high school team. I'm done. I'm shutting up. But I'm just saying, if they lost, they still be in the top 4.
Sure. I don't see any instance. Even if they lost, say they lose to Auburn and Georgia, then maybe. I don't know, man. They'd have to lose twice to even think about not being put in. Screw them.
And back to Michigan State. Sure. Now, I'm going to put a little damper on this party right now. I'm probably going to
Is it raining?
I'm probably going to get booed for this.
Oh, baby. Get the boo.
But that is
ready.
Okay. I can take it. That's
right.
why I'm here.
That's right.
That's why I'm here. So you can go ahead and get these boo birds going. Boo me. A lot of we did play good defense, but they had a lot of self-inflicted wounds. Michigan State did.
Sure.
That's not going to happen against the better. Like I said, I'm always thinking future, where we're trying to go. offense has to be a lot better. Has to be a lot better. Their backup quarterback was out there just running around like a chicken with his head cut off. He had one good play. He thought he was the next coming of whoever you want to pick, and he's up there just running around, throwing the ball all over the. I'll take it. Don't get me wrong, but I just want to relax.
Temper the
It's
expectations.
good.
A
Temper
bit.
the expectations. We still got big plays we have to stop. Like, he shouldn't have ran that. What was it? A third down play. He ran for about almost 50 yards.
Yeah, he had a 47-yard gain out of from their own like 6.
Yeah, so they had.
There was
a lot of plays that they had self-inflicted wounds. Which, hey, we will take it, but I just want to just temper it just a little bit. I'll be the bad guy. I'll take the boos and. What are you talking about? But I'm thinking about the future. The team up north, the Big Ten title, Alabama. Because if we get in, it'd be the 4 seed.
Sure.
It'd be the 4 seed, so we're playing Alabama. So that's what I'm thinking about.
I'll be all right with that.
Yeah. But
Give us a shot.
But Weber in that punting game, you can't take nothing away from that.
5 punts down inside the 6. Are you kidding me? Not good enough for special teams player of the week in the Big Ten, though. The kid from Maryland, the kicker, did that for his game winner from 40 yards out with 2.5 to go. But we'll talk about that a little bit later. More reactions. 120, 130 rushing yards against their number 1 rush defense. I thought that was outstanding. They normally allow 70 per game.
Yeah.
Getting that going is huge, vitally important to the success of this team. While, it wasn't all great, if you told me before the game that we go into Sparty with that weather, we run the ball like that, and we win by 20, we don't allow a touchdown, I'm over the moon, man. I am.
Well, no.
Oh.
Whoa, they did have a touchdown.
I didn't see it.
But that lineman was down the field.
I tell you what, that's a great point.
I ain't going to lie. I was pumped up, though. I was like, yes, thank you. Something finally went our way for once.
Downfield.
Great, because I knew the receiver was about to throw the ball. I said, he's throwing the ball. Is somebody please be back there? And then nobody was back there.
Nope. Now my heart dropped, man.
Mine
was
did
so
too.
wide open. Whew.
But hey,
God.
I'll take it any day of the
You
week.
got that right. That was arguably changed the whole game. I mean, that would have put Michigan State up 10-7. And then we'd be trailing and have to play from behind, which you never like to do in Spartan Stadium especially. But they get it called back. They have to settle for a field goal. They don't score again.
And that's when the defense did clamp down then after that trick play that failed because of their lineman. Oh, man, that lineman got it. But I was happy. What's going on in the comment section over there?
Well, let's see here. We've got some comments rolling in here. Kevin Miller says Chase Young was off the field too much. You know, it's kind of a shame. Ever since really the Penn State game, I haven't heard a whole lot from Chase Young. I haven't heard his name called a bunch. He hasn't been blowing us out of the water with his stat line or play. I mean, he had a few good pressures, quarterback hurries in the game, but I've been, I don't want to say disappointed, but that's kind of where I am. I mean, when Nick Bosa, left, we were like, all right, we still got Chase Young. He's the next Bosa, and we got plenty of other guys around him. And the D-line is playing well, and they're still getting to the passer, but nowhere near as much as I thought we would. So that's kind of a bummer. He isn't playing well, but Kevin Miller's right. If he gives us the best chance to get to the quarterback, he's got to be out there more, at least make some more plays, because it's been kind of sad lately for him, really. That's what I have to say. A few more comments here. Robert Collins says, if we win out, we'll hit the Rose Bowl versus Washington State. If they went out, good for them. We'll beat the piss out of them. That's fine. Alan Blake, how is a 2-loss LSU ahead of us? Good question. LSU at the time had 3 wins over top 10 teams. That's great.
And the Alabama loss didn't count.
But now they have 2 losses, and they just beat a 2-8 Arkansas team by 7 points last week. And they stayed at 7? Come on, man.
They played Alabama, man.
Yeah, that's a quality loss right there. That doesn't count.
That's what they said.
According to the SEC and the College Football Playoff Committee.
I'm looking for my Green Machine guy.
Yeah.
Where is Green Machine? If you guys see him, Where is he at? He talked
We should have wrote his name
all
down.
season. I forgot his name, and he is nowhere to be found. I want him to, hey, man, all year we've heard it.
Yep.
Sparty's coming for you. Where is he at?
You know, he was in here in week 3. When you go up to East Lansing in week 10, we'll show you who's boss. And we said, you know what? If you're right, and we'll say so. But you're not, and he's nowhere to be found.
And now there's another one. No, I'm remembering this name, Johnny Wright.
Johnny.
He is in here talking blasphemy for the team up north.
Bro.
I am going to remember that name.
I'm writing it down right now.
Johnny Wright. He's in here talking blasphemy, and that's fine.
Hey.
His Sparty friend is nowhere to be found now. He swore up and down they were going to beat us, and he was going to come on here and let us have it, and now I don't see him anywhere.
Nope.
So it's okay.
He gone.
It is okay.
He's fine. Johnny, thanks for watching this show. Thanks for the view. Thanks for the little bit of ad money we get from this stuff. So we appreciate you tuning in. Also, find a spot in your name to put the H, because that just looks weird how you spell it. Got him. Look out. Need some ice for that burn?
It's okay.
Matt Bruce says, do you all really think we can beat the team up north? Matt Bruce, come on, man. Of course we can. Come on, man. Where's all the confidence?
Hey.
I'm more confident now than I think I've been since the Penn State game. And, you know, that was, what, 5 games ago? Whoa, what are you talking about now?
Lee Travis
Hey.
said, where's the dude that takes his phone to the toilet?
Well, that's John Goddard, and he's in here. I've seen him around. So say what's up to John Goddard. Wow, he is here before his wife takes his phone before he goes to the bathroom. Matt Bruce, for real, though, can we honestly beat them? Yes, Matt. Yes, we can. We can beat them.
Where's that? Oh, there he is. Matt. Now, I understand. Listen, I am an honest person. Like I said on the beginning of the show.
Sure.
The team up north has the best team assembled they have had since John Harbaugh has been the coach.
Who?
John.
Who?
Who did I say?
You said John.
John. Yeah. Ain't that his name?
It's Jim.
John. Oh, yeah. See?
Shit.
He's so bad, I'm going to talk about his brother. John. They need
about to
John.
get fired, too.
Yeah. They need John. Since Jim Harbaugh has been their coach, this is the best squad they've had. They have the quarterback that gives us fits. He's mobile. They run the read option, which could give us fits. But here is the ultimate thing. Here's the problems we had in the 1990s is the problem they have now.
What's that?
It's called the coaching battle. John Cooper just could not win when it came down to it. When we had the superior team, we go in there, yeah, this is our year. Woo! Nothing. and I hear it all. We're going to lose. This is their year. They got the defense and they got the offense, and here we go. Okay.
Let's hear it, man. Talk.
Okay.
Go ahead. Talk. Because,
Okay, I hear it.
That's going to be so
We're terrible.
sweet.
We're not going to win. We can't run the ball. Our defense stinks. I hear it all. Okay. I've heard this for the past 10 years now.
Sure.
Every year. Okay.
They might even be favored. How nice would that be? Wouldn't that be something? Yeah. The Wolverines come in here and favored. They haven't been favored in the shoe since 2004 when a guy named Troy Smith had about 350 total yards and 4 scores as a sophomore. And we took care of business. Actually, I think it was 3 scores because my guy Teddy Ginn Jr. had an 82-yard punt return. Have I told you this story?
No.
Quick side note here. The 2004 game against that team up north, Ted Ginn returned a punt, 82 yards for a touchdown. It's Brent Musburger's on the call. It's a great call. Look it up. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. I was at that game in 5th grade with my dad. And when Ted Ginn swung free up along the sideline, everybody, all 105,000 people knew he's gone. This race is over. So my dad picks me up, gives me this huge hug, totally knocks the wind out of me. Like, I can't breathe. I'm sitting down. I got my head in my hands. I'm like trying to collect myself. Oh, man. My dad looks down. He thinks I'm just overwhelmed and overcome by the moment. It's such a beautiful moment. He picks me up and does it again. I'm starting like, hey, let me go. Oh, what a happy, painful memory.
Yeah, so it's gonna be fun, man. But we got Maryland first. So
we do have Maryland.
We got to
first.
take care of business.
That's true. That is true.
And then,
But hey, Matt Bruce said, can we really beat them? Of course we can. Not only do we have the more talented squad, we have the better coaching staff. We're in their heads, man. They know there's going to be something that goes wrong. You know, there's going to be, like, early in the third quarter, there's going to be, like, a pass interference call or something that we get in our favor, or maybe a roughing the passer on them that was kind of iffy, and they're going to implode because, oh, here we go, Ohio refs again, way to go, it's all over. We're in their heads, man. Rent free.
yeah, it's going to be fun stuff.
I'm done.
Fun stuff.
Maybe.
Like us, share us. Shout out. We want to thank everybody. Let us know where you're from. Even if you are in the team up North State. If you're a Buckeye fan and you have to deal with all that raggedy noise, we appreciate you for being there. We love the fans. We love the nation. Keep them comments coming along.
All right, I got to give props to Johnny right here.
All right.
We've been digging at him a little bit. But he says it's going to be a great game. This is the Michigan fan. It's going to be a great game. Guys, I'm really looking forward to it. And to answer your question, why I'm on an OSU page, a buddy of mine shared it. So I wanted to hear what y'all were talking about.
Oh,
Thank you, Johnny.
I can.
I got to say, I'm more excited for this
I can
year's
accept
B
that.
game than I
can
have
accept
been
that.
in a long time. Probably because they're damn good. At least they look like it up there. So we'll see.
All right.
We will see. We had a comment in there about, is the feed gone? I don't think so. Other people said no, so that's good.
Woo.
There's a
Scared me
look
like
at our
that.
there's a look at our schedule right
There
there
it
for
is,
you folks.
October 20th. I don't remember, but the rest of it looks pretty darn good to me. How about you, Smitty?
You know, I think so. 20 to 4.
I don't even know that game happened.
Is that a scrimmage?
Like Saturday 13th, 27th. We had a bye. I don't remember playing on the 20th. I don't remember that game.
I don't know either. You know what's kind of a shame though a little bit. All year round, I felt like, is it football season yet? Is it football season yet?
Yeah.
We've already played 10 games, man.
I know. Ain't that crazy?
What is going on? The year's almost over.
And I'm not going to lie. Beginning of the year at Purdue was not my trap game.
No.
It wasn't.
Nope.
Boy, was I wrong.
I was like, it's before a bye week, and
We'll be
we're not going
ready.
to lose on the road.
We'll be locked in.
I said, there's no trap game because of what happened last year. Yeah. Good call, Jake.
Yeah, good job, Corey.
Well done.
You're stupid.
Let's wrap up the Michigan State game
All
here
right.
with a few more things. Couple stat lines. Again, Mike Weber, 22 carries, 104 yards, 1 touchdown.
Shout out to Shawnee.
Time
Shout out to
performance.
Shawnee. She called it.
She did call it?
I give credit when it is due.
Sure thing.
Shawnee called it. She said her bro was going to do his thing at Michigan State. Buckeye leaf to Mike and Shawnee.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I like to hear. Dwayne Haskins, 24 of 39, 227, and 1 touchdown on the little pitch pass to Paris Campbell. Terry McLaurin had a nice game. 5 grabs, 63 yards, couple clutch first downs, and was down on the punt.
Man.
What?
That punt.
What are you guys looking at?
That punt.
Oh,
no, I'm just
man.
pumped up. Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm just pumped up.
What'd I do?
Man, see, don't watch the game with me. You be scared. That punt, man. I said, my goodness. I'm glad it wasn't NFL rules, but I'll take it.
Hey, man. He's flying into the end zone, makes the saving grab. Oh, man.
He was
I think
doing
that was the
his
first punt
thing.
that we
Yeah.
downed inside the 5.
Oh, my goodness.
That
All
was
game
huge.
long, our special teams was on point.
You got that right. Paris Campbell, 6 grabs, 42, and a touchdown. That was nice. And how about true freshman wide receiver Chris Olave? What did you guys think about this kid? Number 17, I thought he was Jalen Marshall out there, man.
I'm an honest dude, right?
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. I'm like, hey, why is 17 out there?
Who is this?
I'm like, who is this kid in the slot? Oh, that's right. Mac is hurt. Okay.
Yep.
Then I remember, okay. And then when he threw him the ball, I said, oh, all right. Yeah, let's go,
Yup.
kid. Let's go. Keep it honest, man. I'm just an honest person.
Hey.
I'm just honest. I got to keep it real.
We appreciate that.
Keep it real.
I know. When they put him in, I was like, is that Chris Olave out there? And then I think his first route, you could tell he had some freshman jitters because he ran a slant and stumbled, didn't get his head around. As soon as he turned his head, the ball hit him right in the chest. He fell down, And then he had 2 grabs, 41 yards. Nice little play. A couple nice plays for him. He had 1 play on a big third down. That was what I was talking about. Nice to see that. And we'll wrap it up with how did our bold predictions go and give out a couple Buckeye leaves. Bold predictions, not horrible this week.
Wasn't right. I wasn't right.
You know, we weren't terrible. I had 27-21. We scored 26, held them to 6. I said Dobbins would have 85 yards and 2 scores. Mike Weber stole the show. And what did you have? 31-17.
Yeah.
Big one from Haskins. Haskins was good. He was all right.
I'm an honest man.
He would have been closer to 300 if Dixon didn't drop a couple balls.
He's regressed a little bit.
A little bit.
I'm going to keep it real. He's my guy, but he's regressed a little bit. He missed some throws. He doesn't want to get hit in the pocket. You got to take them hits, especially next level. Now, he got some drops. Dixon dropped a big one.
Man, Dixon's drop. I about threw up, man.
Oh, man. You got to catch those. Now, Natasha chimed in. She chimed in to slow the roll a little bit. Do you want to read that one? Or do you want me to read it?
Natasha, no. She's always saying, what up, Corey? And I'm over here like.
You go ahead and read it. I'm going to let you take it.
All right.
You take it.
Hey, fellas. Still a lot of work needs to be done before they meet that team up north. They need to play their best game ever in order to beat the team up north. Wow. Okay. I think they need to play their best game this year.
Yeah, I think that's what she meant, this season.
Okay.
Yeah, which they do. Got to be real. They do.
Oh, yeah.
They do.
Absolutely. So we'll see. We've been improving every week. After the bye week, I wanted to see just some improvement in the run game, red zone efficiency, cut down on those damn penalties, and the big plays.
Yes.
We looked better in those categories against Nebraska. I said I wasn't going to complain a whole lot. And we looked a whole hell of a lot better last week against Michigan State.
And there's one thing I wanted to comment on that I absolutely hated.
Oh, boy.
And I think it was the stupidest thing I've seen in my life.
Uh-oh. I think I know where you're going with this.
What's this new defensive back technique that they're doing? Let's just bail and run backwards. That is stupid. First of all, why don't you have the quarterback prove he can throw it deep before you bail? Are you kidding me? Let's go. And we're going to run back. Okay, here comes a 10-yard comeback. We can do that all game long. That has to be the dumbest thing I've ever seen. Yes, we give up big plays, but let's make the quarterback prove he can throw it deep first before we start bailing. I mean, they were just like, okay, we'll take it here.
We'll hitch route.
Okay, we'll take it here. I mean, they're running backwards before the play even starts. I hated the new technique. I mean, you're telling your players just run backwards. I understand we need to stop big plays. I get it. But the quarterback didn't even prove he can throw deep yet. He didn't. None of them did.
Nope.
And we're running backwards before the play starts.
I saw a lot of that early in the game.
And then they stopped.
They did.
Because it was getting ate up.
They made the adjustment.
What is that?
Yeah, man.
Oh, it was making me sick to my stomach. Sorry I had to go off on that, but it really irked.
I feel like I can go on a run for a marathon now. Damn.
It irked me when I seen that.
Kyle Elliott says it's going to be a bad day for Maryland, 42-10. Carrie Lynn saying Michigan's kicker loses the game for him. Clyde, what's up, fellas? Do you think we see Martell more even though he had the miscue? Yes. Urban seems to think so as well. The miscue falls. Now, I'm going to put it on both he and Michael Jordan because it first and foremost was a bad snap. Now, it was way over. You can't even see it over here. And that's the problem is what Tate Martell, he made the redshirt freshman mistake, all right? He didn't fall on the ball. In that scenario, in a tight, fairly tight game in the fourth quarter, just fall on the ball. We'll get the 3 points. We'll get out of there safely. Instead, he tries to pick it up, make a play. He wants to make a play. I understand.
Yeah, I was saying the same thing you was watching the game with my cousin, and I'm like, I understand he wants to make a play, but you got to fall on that.
Yep.
Just because you don't get in the game doesn't mean you gotta try to be Houdini. Just fall on it. Take the 3 points. Michael Jordan, once again, he went back to his TCU days. We're playing shortstop again.
He's not a center, man.
Right. I'm like, come on, man.
Shortstop.
Like, remember when Haskins was playing shortstop against TCU? Every snap was low.
Yep.
Every snap. And then Martell was like, what in the world? What is that?
Oh, man. He had to be.
And he was inside he was heated. Inside
he was running that for a touchdown, man.
He was fuming.
Pissed. I got to think so, man. So, I think we will see Martell a little bit more. I really like those wrinkles.
I do too.
As they say. Kerry says, having him in the game changes the game plan up. They aren't so predictable. Isn't that nice? Isn't that nice to see? We don't know exactly what's coming.
And again, that's coaching, though. I don't understand. Like
they're hitting their stride. Positivity.
You knew what you had, though, in Haskins. I don't understand.
Well, yeah.
You know he's a passer. but yet you keep the same plays.
Urban's like, how about the quarterback draw? What do you think?
I don't get it, but what do I know? I don't know.
Well, we're not making $8 million a year, that's for sure. Making $1.72. Oh, baby. All right, well, let's give out our Buckeye leaves here real quick. And I don't know if we have a graphic for that. Players of the game, let us know who your player of the game was. We're going to keep it pretty obvious here. You want me to go or you want to go?
You can go ahead.
All right. I'm going to say what everybody else is thinking. Drew Chrisman. And I'm going to throw Terry McLaurin in there as well. The combination of those two. Drew Chrisman's what? I think he had 6 inside the 25 or inside the 6-yard line. Terry McLaurin was a huge part of that. Downing all those balls. Absolutely outstanding gunner. Johnny Dixon, normally I would say, yes, he was down there too. But he had 2 drops and really wasn't a factor anywhere else. So I'm going to ding him for that. While Terry McLaurin, he made those great plays on special teams, and he also had 5 grabs for 63 yards, including a couple big key first downs. So my guys, Drew Chrisman and Terry McLaurin. Drew Chrisman's 5 punts inside the 6 were not good enough to land him Big Ten Special Teams Player of the Week. Instead, that went to the Maryland kicker, who made a kick from 25 and a kick from 42, I believe, in their win over Indiana.
All right.
How do you get that wrong? How do you get that wrong? Who knows? I don't know. A couple comments here before you go. Kyle Barr says, give a leaf to the Michigan State offense for what was apparently an intentional safety they gave Ohio State. I have never seen that in my entire life.
Man, bro, look. I was confused.
I was too.
The punter's not even mad. I don't know what's going on. He was like,
No,
oh, well.
like,
Ho-hum.
Oh, well.
And then they were laughing. I'm like, oh, y'all just yucking it up here?
See, my confusion with it was, the idea is to flip the field position because you're backed up so far. They're on their 4th string punter, blah, blah, blah. Don't want to put them in that situation. Well, D'Antoni, that's why he's there. So instead of punting, I call him D'Antoni, like the basketball coach, Mike D'Antoni.
Disrespectful.
But so the idea is to flip the field position. Well, if you get a safety, you got to kick it from 10, 15 yards further back than normal, and then the kick goes out of bounds. Even if they didn't kick the ball out of bounds, we got the ball at midfield. We would have had the ball at about the 40 or the 35. And if Drew Chrisman, he has proved already in the game 3 or 4 times, if he has a punt within 60 yards of the end zone, he's going to pin him deep. And what happens? He puts him right back at the 1 frickin' yard line. Like, thanks for the free 2 points.
To me, it was really dumb. To me, it was really dumb because our offense was not proving to do anything at that point.
Such a close game.
It was 7-6.
Yeah.
We were doing absolutely nothing. You're going to give us 2 free points? Give us a field goal lead?
Hey.
Our offense wasn't burning up anything.
Nope.
We were actually playing pretty pedestrian at best.
Yeah, at that point in time. For sure. That was very, very interesting. Julie agrees with me. Drew and Terry share the player of the game honors.
Yeah.
John Goddard, great show again, fellas.
I know something's coming.
I'm crowning. The Meatloaf wins this round. See y'all next week after we whoop Maryland. John, we've still got 45 minutes here, Chief, so hope you're all right. And Kyle Elliott has an idea here, and I'll go ahead and let you take your player of the game after I took Drew Chrisman and Terry McLaurin.
My player of the game is a rumor. She has a sister that watches this show.
This program? Every Tuesday night? 7:30 to 9?
One of our fans, and we love her for it. Thank you, Shawnee Weber. My Buckeye leaf goes to Mike Weber, who dominated the run game this week. Usually it's one or another. It's Dobbins or Weber or Dobbins. Well, this week it was Mike Weber doing his thing, 22 carries, 104 mean yards in the cold, 1 touchdown, breaking tackles, taking names and numbers and destinations. Yeah. Mike Weber gets my Buckeye leaf. Way to handle business. Get the run game going, and hopefully it propels our running game going forward.
I sure hope so. Kyle Elliott had a great comment here about Mike Weber, if I can find it. What about Weber finally getting our running game going again? He ran his tail off. Great thing to see going forward. There was the last, his touchdown, I think, was his last carry of the game. And it was just a tough run. It was, really just brought together his whole performance into that final carry. He got hit in the hole, spun off it, was like, bitch. 6. Mike Weber, player of the game, man. Shawnee says you're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, indeed. He was a beast on Saturday. More impressive. And Kyle Barr says it's even more impressive because it's a highly ranked rush defense. Absolutely.
Yes.
I mean, in the cold, horrible weather, you got an outstanding running defense. He puts up a Benjamin on you and a touchdown. That's what I'm talking about. That's how you do
huge. It was huge. Give us a shout out, guys. The map is on the screen. There you go.
Where are you watching from, folks? Buckeye Nation. Eddie Stats joins the building. Thank you, Eddie, for tuning in. And let us know where you're watching from. We gave out our Buckeye leaves. Let's talk a little bit about college football. Eddie, what's up, man? Thanks for dropping the comment. Well, let's talk some college football around the whole college football landscape. Pretty much everybody took care of business in the top 10, really anybody of note. Teams 1 through 4 rolled to victories. Georgia, Oklahoma, and LSU all had their struggle, but did come away with a win, and it didn't hurt them in the polls as evidenced as earlier. And, nothing too crazy this past week. I mean, 8 ranked teams lost, but none of them were in the top 10. And I think 3 or 4 of those were 2 top 10 teams. So nothing crazy. You got the new rankings going up there now. My Cincinnati Bearcats in at 24, man. I'm really excited about them. Have I talked about them?
No, I haven't heard.
Is that right?
Those are your Bearcats?
Those are my Bearcats.
Oh, I didn't know. Okay, cool, man. Yeah. What was that?
UC.
Oh, okay. I didn't know.
I do the whole cheer, man. This is a Buckeye show, though, so that's the student section coming out.
Okay, I got you.
Am I still in college? I tell you what, I'm gonna be acting like I'm still in college because this weekend I'm so excited. The defending national champions, UCF Golden Knights, are hosting my Cincinnati Bearcats.
Uh-oh. It's
college game day.
Uh-oh.
It's 8 o'clock on ABC, the game of the week.
Oh, shoot.
UCF's like a 23-game win streak might be coming to an end.
Oh,
They've allowed like 400, 500 rushing yards combined the last couple of weeks since he's a power running team with a stout defense. Look out, Golden Knights. Look out.
He is calling you guys out.
Just saying.
He's calling you guys out.
Just saying.
Julie says people need to hear what Herb Street said about Ohio State tonight.
Well, if I had that clip or quote,
yes,
I would happily deliver it. Julie, if you can give us a little bit of that from memory, let us know. We'd appreciate that in the comment section. Eddie Woodcock says, this week in college football, the SEC has a bye. So let's go ahead. I do want to bring this up because it happens every year and I get really pissed off. So I don't see why not. Bring it up. It is Chicken Shit Saturday in the SEC Conference. That's right, folks. Everybody's favorite weekend of the year. Let's take a look at the SEC's schedule this week. Okay, number 1, Alabama, hosting the Citadel. Number 5, Georgia, hosting UMass. Number 7, LSU has Rice at home. Florida's at 15. They get Idaho at home. Auburn gets Liberty at home. And Texas A&M gets UAB. They might lose. UAB is damn good. It's just their second year back after they killed their football program. And they're 9-1, I think. Here's the problem with the SEC this weekend. So every conference in college football, every Power 5 conference in college football plays 9 conference games. Except the SEC. They play 8. So there's an extra game in there, an extra game in the non-conference schedule. Now, are you going to put it at the beginning of the year? No. Are you going to schedule another Power 5 team? No. Let's put it in the penultimate week of the season, before the biggest game of the season. Rivalry week, everybody gets a chance to rest up. Alabama gets the Citadel. Tua Tagovailoa's got a bum knee this week. He might not even play, but it doesn't matter because they got the Citadel.
Well.
You know what I mean? It's like, how do they get this opportunity to just, like, it doesn't make any sense that the SEC only has to play 8 conference games where everybody else plays 9. You know, I'm not saying Maryland's a world beater. I'm not, the team up north has Indiana this week. They're not a world beater, but it's still Big Ten Conference. It's still a conference game. A couple years ago, we were at Michigan State and then hosted Michigan in the final 2 weeks of the season. A couple years from now, we have to go. In back-to-back years, we have Penn State and the team up north in the final 2 games of the season. Back-to-back, we'll flip sites. And the SEC, they don't have to do that. They just schedule some slack Division II team, beat the living crap out of them, as Adam Sandler would say, in The Longest Yard. I don't know, man. I don't like that one bit. They get a pass, man. They don't have to play those teams can play their third stringers and still win by 3 touchdowns. Everybody gets to rest, and then they get to play, in the biggest game of the season. They're in rivalry weekend next weekend, coming off a fresh week of rest. It's basically a bye week. Carrie says, let's talk about how they don't travel much either. When's the last time Alabama came north of the Mason-Dixon line? Played somebody up north.
That would be beautiful.
Man, come on.
In the cold.
See, that's why I really want
in the rain
an 8-team playoff where the top 4 seeds host the bottom 4 seeds in the first round. Because in this scenario, while Ohio State's not they're number 10, they wouldn't be in the top 8 right now, but I would think in the final rankings they would be, provided they win out. A top 4 Ohio State could host like a Georgia in this scenario, or an Alabama if they're in the. Wouldn't it be nice to host, like in the Horseshoe, have the Buckeyes host in the first weekend of December, second weekend of December, bring those down south boys up here to play some Big Ten football.
That would be nice.
Come on, man.
Make it happen.
I'm telling you.
Bring Citadel down here.
What do you got going on over there?
I was just trying to find out what Herb Tree exactly said, but I can't.
Oh, okay. Well, Julie just said, he basically said that the Wolverines would beat Ohio State. He didn't have much good to say about the Buckeyes. Well, that's okay, man. Hey. It's us against the world. Ohio against the world, man. Especially with all this crap in the news today about you-know-who, making comments, getting sued. It's going to be lovely how that turns out. But
everybody's entitled to their opinion.
We got all we need. We are all we need.
I mean, and if we're being honest, up till today, they have looked like the better team.
Sure.
So what is he supposed to say?
Hey,
if he doesn't say that, oh, you're a homer. That's what the national media would say. Now, Phil Feinbaum doesn't care. He's the homer of all homers.
Yeah.
So he's trying to say the politically correct thing.
Yeah, well.
Me, I don't care. I'll be a homer.
That's fine.
To me.
We get paid to be homers.
Yeah.
Sorry with me.
I'll do it all day long.
He's got to be objective.
I don't have to.
No, thanks. Joe Lucas says, why can't we get a major bowl in Indianapolis? Indy is a great sports town. I do believe that Lucas Oil Stadium will be hosting the college football playoff finale. Or maybe, you know what it is? It might be college basketball, the championship game. Or maybe the Super Bowl. There's a big game coming up in the next few years in Indy. I'll be excited. I'd like to go to that. I don't really care who's in it, but I haven't seen a game of that magnitude. Never been to a national title game,
right,
or
yeah,
Super Bowl or anything like that. But been to a couple big games. I've seen the Buckeyes beat the Wolverines the last 2 years. That was pretty fun. I got to say, that's pretty good stuff right there. Shawnee says, right, we got to play in the rain and snow, muddy fields. They wouldn't be able to handle it. We can't run a 4.4 in mud. Oh, man. She's right. And, man, it'd just be so nice to have one of those teams down south come up here, play some real football. And
that will never happen.
Cold conditions.
It will never happen.
Yeah, it will.
It will never
happen.
happen.
Yeah, it will. I got to think.
They don't want to do that.
They're going to go to the top.
SEC.
They're going to go to the 8-team playoff, top 4 seeds host, and we'll get a Florida or a Georgia or some team that's going to come up and get their ass whooped. And I'm excited. I'm excited for that. Mike Tackett, our guy. Kirby Hokut, the front man of the committee, says Ohio State's strength of schedule is the reason they're at 10. Our strength of schedule is 56th, and Washington State's is 60th. And we still have to play number 4. Let's read between the lines here. That is interesting. Kyle Barr said TCU failing us hurt as bad as Penn State beating mediocre. Our 2 biggest wins of the season, man. Penn State and TCU, we thought those would be really good.
TCU didn't count.
No.
It might as well be gone and wiped away, and it was a neutral site game. Yeah. So for the fact that it wasn't on the road and they stink, and now Penn State is average at best.
Well, Kerry makes a good point. Bama had a weak strength of schedule last season, and it was fine then for the committee. A weak strength of schedule didn't matter then. Neither did a Conference championship game.
Once again, they built that clout. Once you have built up clout, it really doesn't matter.
I guess so.
You play one strong game a year, and if you win that, if you just win it, and you're undefeated, even though they lost last year.
Sure.
But you got strong clout. And we don't have that clout right now. We just don't. 31-0 to Clemson. Was it 56-21? Was it 56-21 Iowa?
To who?
Iowa, that game that we
lost that one by 31. But
And then-
I couldn't tell you the score.
and then Purdue. That's stuck in their brain.
55-24 is what it was.
55-24, yeah. And then Purdue.
Our guy, Seth Hammerly, Alabama hasn't gone out of conference true road game in over 10 years. How do they get away with that, man? It's bogus.
They're scared of Nick Saban.
Yeah, Nick Saban is scared, I guess. But he also has, 7 rings he can flash. So they don't really care. Let's get to a few of this weekend's big games. There's only a few of them, really. Like I mentioned earlier, UCF is hosting my Cincinnati Bearcats.
Game of the week.
Game of the week, 8 o'clock on ABC.
Go UCF.
Come on.
Who's playing?
Yeah. Notre Dame gets Syracuse at 2:30 on NBC.
Go Syracuse.
Go Syracuse, baby.
Who would have thought you would think Syracuse would be our
The Orange.
favorite team this Saturday?
Hey.
We would be like, go Orange, go Donovan McNabb, and whoever else played on Syracuse that was good.
You had a good I think Jim Brown went to Syracuse.
Go Jim Brown. Jim Brown, wear your jersey, show up with Donovan McNabb,
We need
run some routes, show them how it's done.
Hey.
We need you.
We'll see. That'll be a good game. That game's on NBC at 2:30 for some reason.
You know how Notre Dame and NBC does it. Pick them weird times.
Yeah,
For
they got anytime Notre Dame's on, NBC gets to pick. So we'll see. Everybody should be a Syracuse fan this weekend. So go Big Orange. And the final ranked matchup of the weekend, Iowa State is at Texas at 8 o'clock on the Longhorn Network.
Woo!
So everybody tune into that one. That is, it is a big, it is a big game for the Big 12. I mean, the winner of that game will be third. And if Oklahoma and West Virginia, if one of them falls off, there's a chance they could be in the Big 12 title game. So good for you guys. I don't see it, but a lot of Syracuse love in here, man.
We got to.
A lot of Syracuse
We got to
love.
be Syracuse fans this
The
week. 'cause
quarterback is dangerous, Eddie Stats says. Kyle Bardino Babers, great coach at Bowling Green, now doing good things at Syracuse. I know that's right. Eric Dungy is their quarterback. He is damn good, as Kyle Barr says here.
Carrie says she only roots for the Buckeyes. You have to root for Syracuse this weekend because it will help the Buckeyes. You have to. It helps the Buckeyes.
It does. And you know what? Notre Dame would still be ranked ahead of us, I bet.
They would,
But
but if we do our job,
not after the final rankings. That's for sure. What did I miss here? BJ Murray says, love you. I love you,
yes.
BJ. Murray. Kyle Elliott, Syracuse is a sleeper. They're tougher than most. Coming from ACC country, that is true. ACC has looked whack this year, so we'll see. Maybe they get a little. I don't know.
Man.
We'll see. I'm rooting for the Syracuse.
Let's go Syracuse.
Come on, baby. And
that
Julie
W.
agrees with Carrie. I don't care about any other team. Just rooting for the Buckeyes.
Guys, you got to help the Buckeyes out.
Help
I'm
them
telling
out,
you.
man.
I'm telling you.
Syracuse just needs a little bit more fanhood
Just
for
a
this
little bit.
weekend.
Just one weekend. It's
They'll
not
take care of
going to
business.
hurt for one weekend.
No, I mean,
So you mean to tell me when Michigan plays, you guys are never rooting for that other team to beat Michigan? Not once in your life you haven't went, come on, whoever's playing that blue team. Never.
I only root for the Buckeyes.
Ever.
Nope.
I find that hard to believe when you see that nasty team on that screen when Appalachian State beat them, when they whiffed on that punt against Michigan State, you never rooted.
oh, he has trouble with the snap. Oh, baby. Oh, it doesn't get better than that. Carrie says, you're playing a team that sucks when your team is favored by 50 points. Bama and Citadel. What a joke.
I'm betting they won't cover.
What a joke indeed. Oh, they'll cover.
I'm going with Citadel.
Eddie Stats has a comment for you that I don't understand. I'm guessing it came from another show. Corey does all the shows around here, so we'll see.
Robert on Everything Browns Nation said he would eat his hat if the Browns lost to the Falcons.
If the Browns lost?
Yeah.
Well, lucky him.
Yeah, so that's where that came from.
Well, damn. Who was that? Robert Collins said that?
No, it was Robert Watson.
Oh, well, Robert Collins says Toledo Rockets beat Michigan. Boy, that was fun the other day.
Yeah.
Or a couple of
You're trying to tell me you guys didn't root for Toledo when they were playing?
Julie says, only Appalachian State. I did root for them. I'll give you that. That's a fun one.
Okay, see? So it has happened. It's the team up north. You've had to root against them.
Yep. I don't know. I can't find any reason not to
Kerry
root
said,
for.
I just root for them to lose, and the only time I watch them play is in November.
The weekend after Thanksgiving.
Interesting.
Boy, next week we're setting up for. We are setting up for one of the biggest games. The game, man. This
show is going to be epic, man.
Oh my!
This is going to be an epic show next weekend. So make sure that you get your shout outs in. Tell us where you're from. Will you be here next week? What's the score going to be? I'm getting them ready already.
Bro.
I'm getting them ready. I'm getting them ready to tune in already.
Hey, why not? I mean, we should talk a little bit about Maryland. And
yeah, we
will
can
here in a few minutes, but I think next week we need to write down all the comments so we can give a special shout out to whoever has the right score or their bold prediction, stats wise. That'll be very exciting. Mike Tackett says, thoughts on a 12-team playoff?
Yeah, too many.
Every Power 5 champ and runner-up, and 2 at-large teams.
Too many.
Number 1, number 2 get a first-round bye. I think it's too many. I like the 8.
It's too many. Everybody can lose in.
12's too much. I mean, if you lose in your conference title game and then you get to go to the playoff?
Right.
Come on.
Everybody's
if you're resting their starters.
Everybody's in.
You get a playoff bid. You get a playoff bid. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that. People are talking about handling business this week. We got 3 comments in a row. Michael Egan, got to handle business this week. Need to beat Maryland by about 100.
100.
Heard it here first.
You heard it there first.
We win big versus Maryland. They move us up to make the game unreal. Matchup game day will be there. David Campbell says, I like that. Eddie Woodcock says, Ohio State beats Maryland 42-14. I would like that. Oh, baby, John Goddard back with another one. Woo, woo. He made it back. He just dropped a massive Johnny Wright, who was the Michigan fan in the comment section earlier. John is always he's always dropping good ones and making funny comments.
Yeah.
Oh, see what? Kerry says, how about they let the backups play in the Maryland game? I'll be curious to see what Urban does against them against Maryland this weekend, because I think I do think we need some style points right now. I think that's fairly evident. But he also doesn't want – I can't imagine he wants to, really tire our guys out a whole lot the week before the game, because next week's practice is going to – that's going to be – those practices are going to be tough. They're not just – these aren't going to be walkthroughs next week. I mean, those are going to be some tough-ass practices next week leading up to the game. So what do you think they do? Let us know in the comments. Do you think Urban tries to run it up and keep the starters in and put up 60 points against Maryland, or do you think we get out to an early lead, we win, 40-20 something, and he's content with that to rest the starters? John Goddard says Urban's going to step on their throats 63-3. That's we'll see. David agrees with Kerry. It'd be nice to see some other guys get some playing time. I think I'm with John on this one. I think he wants to step on their throats. I think he's pissed, especially with all this bull crap coming out today.
Yeah,
and I think
I might have to change my bold prediction a little bit.
Uh-oh.
I made it before all that stuff came out.
Oh,
just saying.
Ooh.
Just a little bit.
I did as well. I did too. Once they run the score up and take the starters out, Kerry says. We'll see. I mean, we will have I don't know. What do you think they do? Do you think he wants to run the score up and keep his starters in, or do you think he wants to get some rest?
I think he wants to run up the score up regardless who's in the game. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And I think the ideal situation would be Haskins has a good showing, like he did earlier in the season.
Mm-hmm.
He's able to come out. he's able to get Martell reps, like real reps, not just red zone reps, but real reps to get him prepared for the team up north. Throwing, running.
Have them prepare a little more too. Make them spend more time on it.
And get everybody and blow the doors off the roof. And the one element that we are missing, and I don't understand why we don't do it more, blow the doors off the roof. Yeah. My roof has doors, if you didn't know. Yeah, it's a door, like, because, when Santa comes down, I just put some doors on the roof so he can just, do. Yeah. Sure. Blow the doors off the roof. If you haven't heard of that one, put it in the comment section. # blow the doors off the roof.
Come on down. It's like, you ever see Hey Arnold? You ever watch that show? Growing up, oh, damn, man. Hey Arnold had this cool room with he had like doors on his roof. He could go outside.
I'm sticking with that. Blow the doors off the roof.
Do it.
I'm going to keep it too.
Do it.
Blow the doors off the roof. But I want to get back to going fast. I don't know why did we stop that? But when we went fast, I think we give our offense too much time to think. Mm-hmm. And that's when we mess up. We think, and then we go, okay, when is it this here? And we go here.
False start.
And we false start. And then Haskins wants to change the play, and everybody doesn't know what's going on.
We're all looking at the sideline.
And then we get them penalties. And everybody false starts, but they don't call it because, everybody moves. And they go, and that's false start, by the way, but nobody calls it. Go fast. Move. Pick up the pace. I want to see some movement in our offense. Get the defense tired. Because if you're tired, they're more tired because they don't know what you're going to do. You do.
Back on their heels.
Get back to going fast. And when Dwayne Haskins is in, that will get the run game going. If you move fast. Blow doors off the roof.
Clyde agrees. That's great. I love it. We got some predictions in here. Go ahead. Give us your predictions. We'll get to our bold predictions here. Mike Tackett says Maryland starting quarterback is out for the year. Tate plays in the whole second half, 65-7 Buckeyes. Carey says 59-7. Robert Collins says healthy. I'm guessing he's referring, take the guys out. We don't need to run up the score and get somebody hurt. Shawnee Weber, Ohio State 32, Maryland 7. Mikey gets 90 yards, 1 tutty, maybe. 1 touchdown, maybe. Might save him for next week.
You know why I like Shawnee?
What?
Did you see that realistic stat line she just put in there? That is just being real. It's her brother. She could have said 276 yards, 4 touchdowns for my bro. No, she said 90 yards, 1 touchdown. Maybe. I like that.
And she's real, I mean, we might save him for next week.
Yeah.
He might get 10 carries, and then we shut him down because we're really going to need him next week. Next week is going to be another one of those grind it out, tough yards games. You give the ball to Mike Weber in those situations. Over JK. For now, he's proven to be the tough yards guy. Mm-hmm. So give the ball to Mike Weber. Corey Shoemaker says, we need dominant wins the rest of the season or we won't make the playoff. We'll have to go to the Rose Bowl because if that team up north wins, they will go to the college football playoff and we'll be the next highest ranked Big Ten team. He also says 45-3. Natasha says 10-7. What are you talking about, Natasha?
She laughed.
And then Scott Ferguson says, I love your outfit, Corey.
My man Scott in the building. Shout out to my man Scott. Known him for a while.
Scott.
Tuning into the show. I tried a little bit. I told you I had to go get a black hat because I didn't have one. Remember I told you that? Remember I told you that? I said, I got to get a black hat because I don't have one. When you said the blackout, I said, I don't have a black hat. That is terrible. Got to get a black hat. Shout out to my man Scott in the comment section. Didn't say the building that time. And you guys, make sure you blow the doors off that roof.
Blow the doors off the roof, baby. Robert Collins, 38-17, good offense and good tackling. That was something that looked really impressive against Michigan State. I was really happy with our tackling, not letting anybody lose, springing for an extra 5 to 10 yards. That'll kill you. Carey says, use Maryland for another practice. 59-7.
59-7.
Put it on 7. All right, let's get to our bold predictions here. Well, you know what?
I'm change mine a little bit.
All right.
I'm going to change it up a little bit because I made mine before that week report. I'm going to keep it clean.
Sure. Week report. Chris Hersey says, I'm unable to hear the program. Anyone else having issues?
Anybody else having issues? Let us know.
Yes. Somebody tell Chris in the comments if you are. Please let us know. Carey says, refresh the that too.
The page.
Steve says we're good. Carrie says refresh the page. I am able to hear it. Jimmy Walford, defense shows up. Again, we win 31-0. I like that.
Woo!
I'd be all right with that. All right, so let's talk Maryland. 5-5 on the year. Not super impressive. 3-4 in the Big Ten. Their best win was against Texas in the season opener. That's a big win right there. Their other wins, Illinois, Rutgers, Bowling Green, and Minnesota. Nothing really impressive there.
Not really.
They lost to Temple. They lost to Indiana. They run the ball twice as much as they do passing. So our defense will have to be stout again against the run. They were pretty solid against the pass. Folks in the comments section saying it sounds good, so appreciate that. Corey Shoemaker says, check the volume. Always a good idea. Laura BP joins the program. Thanks, Laura. We've missed you this evening. Where you been?
Hey, she's here.
She's here.
She's here.
In the building.
In the comments
Joe
section.
Lucas, OSU 49, Maryland 10. Weber and Dobbins both get 100 yards. Johnny D, great comeback with 2 touchdowns. Sign me up for that one, Corey.
Sign you up.
Scott Bowman, 59-7. He and Carrie Lynn have the same thing. And she just said so. Ha ha. I like it. Okay, Maryland has a pretty solid defense. Actually, they lead the country in interceptions. So Haskins has to be a little bit careful. Something we haven't talked about yet, it's Haskins' first game playing in his home state of Maryland. So a little bit of something there. Maybe he wants to come out and put on a show. He was committed to Maryland. LOL. Imagine if that stood. But the defense, the pass defense especially, is pretty solid. Opposing quarterbacks playing Maryland only complete 51% of their passes. That's good for 7th in the country. And they are 30th overall in yards allowed per game. So the defense, not bad. Not bad. The Maryland defense has pretty solid. But on the offensive side there, quarterback, as somebody mentioned earlier, he is injured, tore an ACL, out for the year, Kasim Hill is. So Tyrell Pigrome will be the starter. He's pretty good, and he's a really good runner. So we're going to have to shut down the run. They have 235 rushing yards per game. That's pretty impressive. So, we'll have to see. Jimmy Walford corrected me here as well. Chase Young is also from Maryland. So hopefully Mr. Young will show out because I haven't heard his name called a whole lot in recent weeks. Shawnee says Haskins will have a great game. Carrie says, how many yards per game? Maryland averages 235 rushing yards per game. 235 on the ground per game. That's pretty impressive stuff. They've got some talent. Their offensive line has 4 seniors, 1 junior. They're good in the run game, not so good in the pass protection. And one of their defensive ends, Byron Cowart, was the number 3 overall recruit in the 2015 class. He's a senior. A lot of talent on that defensive line. So we will see. Robert Collins says the running back's hurt. Tim Skeldon, Buckeyes win big, 63-3. And that team up north gets a scare from Indiana. I'll be all right with that. Scare them a little bit.
Don't lose.
They won't.
Don't lose.
They won't.
I don't want no excuses. None.
Well, it was Ohio refs reffing that game, so that's what they say. Haskins and Young playing in Maryland for the first time. The Buckeyes, last I saw, favored by 16.5. Clyde says 38-24 Buckeyes. So you want to give us your updated bold prediction here, Chief? Oh, my.
Updated my
damn.
bold prediction after the Urban Meyer news that we did not talk about today, to keep it clean. Buckeyes go to Maryland, hometown of Chase Young.
Chase Young, Dwayne Haskins.
Haskins.
Well, maybe not hometown.
Not hometown, but
home state.
home state.
Sure.
Dwayne Haskins, I'm going back to the well. Haven't went there in a couple of weeks.
Well,
Not as bold predictions.
last week.
No, I didn't.
What?
I didn't do him last week.
Yeah, you did.
I didn't
300
I?
yards.
Oh, yeah.
It's just
Yeah,
so
I
much
went.
around here.
No, going back to the well like I did last week.
Oh, okay.
He just didn't make me look good. So I'm going back to the well. Dwayne Haskins going back to Maryland, 290 yards,
Okay.
4 touchdowns.
Okay.
Chase Young,
Uh-oh.
3 sacks.
Yes.
He wakes up
Wake up.
in Maryland just in time for the team up north. Gets some sacks, knocks the quarterback around.
And they don't pass a lot, so that's going to be
yeah.
he could be
Get
a
the
force.
jersey dirty. what's this green stuff on my shoulder pad? That's what I want him to see. Buckeyes win 48-20.
48-20.
I added 10 points to my original score just because of Urban Meyer.
Okay. I dig that. What do you think, folks? Some people think we will see Tate Martell. Some others,
and we will.
Others do not.
We will see him.
We will see as well.
Book it.
So
unless we just have a whole bunch of
Shawnee
bombs.
says we need to block more. We need to block better. And we do. And we've seen it in the past couple games. They have improved.
Carrie said Prince blocks.
Yeah, right. My goodness. Oh man, I'm not even gonna tell. I'm not saying Eddie's stats because I'm gonna say mine before I read it. I got the Buck. He took mine pretty damn near close.
Oh, wow, pretty close.
I think I got the Buckeyes 49-21 in this one. I think they come out and they look pretty sharp. And KJ Hill, I've got him as my guy. He's always been my guy.
Always.
One thing I did have an issue with him last week. Catch the ball on the punt, man. Catch the ball.
Oh, yeah.
His first 3 punts, he was back there to field. He just didn't catch the ball. And they rolled about 15, 20 yards. I'm like, what are you doing? Catch the ball. What are you back there for? Anyways, bounce back game for him. 150 all-purpose yards and 2 touchdowns. One coming off a punt return.
Oh.
Punt return touchdown for KJ Hill this weekend. You heard it here first.
Haven't had one of those.
Now I will read Eddie's stats, who was so kind to rain on my parade. Buckeyes, 42-14. KJ Hill, 175 yards, 2 scores, 1 touchdown run for 40 yards.
Very specific. Sure.
He always is. He's always very good. Corey Shoemaker says, Julian Fleming, the number 1 receiver in the class of 2020 out of Pennsylvania, was seen wearing Buckeye gloves in his last game.
Oh.
Always a good sign.
Always a good sign.
We'll see. We'll have more on him in the coming weeks. Shawnee says, KJ, 95 yards and a touchdown. She's on the KJ Hill train with me as well. But I've got 49-21 Buckeyes. I think they, 21 may seem a little high, but
I got to get on my guy Scott here.
Uh-oh.
He said, the game I'm looking for is the real game, the team up north. I'm hoping for some lead changes during the game.
No, Scott.
We don't want any lead changes. We want to go up, and that's it. End of the story.
Game.
I don't want a real game. I want to win. Come on, Scott. My guy. I don't want any lead changes. I want to score, punch him in the mouth.
Game
over.
See ya.
I don't have time for,
Shout out victory.
like that overtime one. Oh, whew. My heart almost fell out my chest.
Hey, my buddy, a good friend of mine, Oliver, appreciate you tuning in, says, bring back Chris Gamble.
Man.
You think he's got any eligibility left?
Two-way Chris Gamble.
He had Chris Gamble may still be in the lead for interceptions in a Panthers career.
Wow.
Believe it or not. Fun fact. I'm not sure. Josh Norman might have done
Chris
that.
Gamble was a monster.
What a stud.
Played both sides of the ball.
And special teams. This dude did it all.
He played with fatigue off. That's a beast. No fatigue.
No fatigue.
He just played.
He changed that in the settings. He moved the sliders up.
Yeah. He's like, nope.
No fatigue. Man, for real though, Chris Gamble, legend. Miss him.
Legend.
Miss him. I don't know what David Campbell's talking about. Buckwheat.
Maybe Chris Gamble. I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, who knows? Well, maybe.
Yeah, I'm still thinking.
Yeah, I guess so. His hair was kind of funky. My mom joins the program. Hello, mother. Thank you for tuning in. We want to crush them. We need to.
Okay.
We got to beat Alabama. And Alabama. Maryland? Alabama?
Playing Alabama. You called it. You have spoken into existence.
That's what I do,
Remember
baby.
this date,
That's
ladies
what I
and
do.
gentlemen.
The 13th of November. Jake Smith called it. The Buckeyes come in with the 4th spot in the playoff rankings. Get another shot at Alabama. We got to beat them. Kerry says, I don't think style points will matter in this game. It's a crappy team. See, that's really the question here. If Urban Meyer is going to rest his guys, or is he going to try to make a statement, leave them in, and run up the score, get a 66-10 type of win? I don't know. I have a hard time believing, right now I know he wants to make sure that we look good. And maybe if we're up like 35-10 or something, and maybe he'll leave the ones in for an extra drive, try to get another touchdown before he puts Martell and the second teamers in. But I don't know. I don't think he wants, we're kind of dinged up. We're finally getting healthy. Mm-hmm. And I don't think he wants to risk that for the game next week.
I like the question that My man Steve put up there. Do you think Ohio State can make the playoffs? Do you think they make the playoffs?
Do I think they do, or do
Yeah.
I think they can?
Do you think they can make the playoffs?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely they can. I mean, what are we doing here?
I'm just saying. Just asking.
Of course they can.
The question was on the screen, so
Starts with this weekend.
I thought I'd ask you.
Sure.
Do you think they can make it with all of the biases of the committee?
Yes. And it starts with this weekend. I think we need to look good. I don't think we need to hang 70 on them just to get, while that may help us, I don't think, if we win 45-7, that'll be just fine. 45-14, that'll be just fine.
I'll tell you what they can't do.
Okay.
Can't have a Nebraska game.
No.
You can't beat Maryland by 5.
Nope.
3.
Nope.
7.
Nope.
10.
No.
You can't have a game like that. You have a game like that, you might kiss it bye-bye. Because they're going to be like, okay, really? Maryland? You can't have a game like that. So even though
crab cakes and football.
Yeah, even though we're saying, it's nothing, we better not have a close game against Maryland. Or I will come in here throwing hand sanitizer in the studio. We cannot have a close. That's the first thing I see in my eyes.
Oh, it's right here.
We can't have a close game against Maryland. That's the whole point. We have to handle them. At least beat the spread. At least.
I think that'll happen. 16.5 last I saw. I think that'll be fine.
And then the team up north, Northwestern, or whoever comes out of that division.
It's already Northwestern.
Already Northwestern.
Yeah, they clinched. So good for them.
Terrible division. Yeah. And then let the chips lay on the table.
We'll see. But it starts with this Saturday. I mean, we're not going to make the playoffs if we look like crap this weekend. So I think we're coming together as a team. We're finding our stride at the right time. We're getting healthy, most importantly. So we'll see how it goes. And we got time. If the question is, can they make the playoffs?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely, positively. That's what I have to say. Corey Shoemaker says, I think everyone needs to see the field Saturday so we can build up everyone's confidence going into December. I agree with that. I think we will see the twos for hopefully the entirety of the fourth quarter. Mm-hmm. Like you said, we can't have a Nebraska type game. Mm-mm. We can't have this close into halfway. If it's halfway through the third quarter and this is still, a 1 touchdown or 10-point game, not going to look good. Not going to look good. Natasha says in that case, for bringing old players back, bring back the best QB ever, Troy Smith. That's a good question for the comment. We've only got 5 minutes left here. If you could add any former Buckeye to this team, who would it be?
To this team?
Yep.
Zeke or Eddie?
Tailbacks.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was quick for you. Why so quick on the tailbacks end?
Because the way the line is blocking and the way we're using our quarterback, I think we just need that nothing wrong with our backs now, but just that dominant back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They could just
How about Beanie?
They could just create his own hole. Because right now our backs got to do it themselves.
Yeah.
They're not run blocking well. That's why I would say that. Or we just bring back Nick Bosa. Nick Bosa healthy. We can do that route too.
He would be
because
playing
that would
next
change
week
the defense completely.
if he stayed here. Everybody's saying Zeke. Clay Lodeman says Shazier. I like that. We could use some Shazier's missile out there in the linebacking core.
Yeah, but I'd go Zeke or Eddie just because our run blocking is not, they create their own hole.
Sure.
Especially with the quarterback we have. That would just be.
See, but then our scheme wouldn't change at all. And maybe we wouldn't be blocking that way. I mean, I don't know. Jimmy Walford says James Laurinaitis would be my defensive pick. Offense would be Orlando Pace. I thought about that too. Scott Ferguson says Orlando Pace. Kerry Land, Joey Bosa. Orlando Pace is coming in.
Look at Nick Bosa. Just bring him back healthy. One of the Bosa.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Just bring one of them.
One of them back. One of the Bosas. They could provide quite the spark for us on defense. That'd be very nice.
I like the Orlando Pace too.
Yeah,
I like that too.
That'd be huge.
That'd be huge.
That's huge. That'd be nice. Orlando, somebody on the offensive line. That'd be nice. Andy Katzenmoyer on defense. Jason says that would be
Does
nice.
he still get the word of the big shoulder pads?
Somebody said somebody to take Isaiah Prince's place. We could put Thayer Mumford at right tackle. Put Orlando Pace at left. Yeah, and yes, Katzenmoyer would wear the big shoulder pads and the neck roll.
Yeah.
You'd be terrified, man. That'd be something else.
Woo! They'd be like, "Uh-oh, don't run at him.
Who is this guy?"
Look at his neck roll."
Speaking of that, did you see that video of the guard for the Indianapolis Colts, Quentin Nelson? He came around on Sunday on a pull block. He's a left guard, and he's pulling to the right, and he's coming around, and he absolutely levels Barry Church, safety of the Jaguars. And it was like, I saw it on Sunday because I was like, damn, he absolutely steamrolled him. And then Monday morning, I saw a video. He was mic'd up. And he is just straight screaming. When the ball is snapped, he's like, ah, as he's pulling this giant 6'6", 320-pound man steams rolling. Oh, man, that's nice. Scott Ferguson said Mike Nugent.
Mike Nugent,
That'd be all right.
Devin Smith are all coming in.
Devin Smith. I mean, we could use, deep threat would be nice.
Nugent was money.
Nugent. Oh, man.
When we kick down, don't you get scared? Don't you get scared?
Yeah.
As soon as they kick, oh, goodness.
I mean, Hobbill had one from 40 out that was probably 20 yards right. Wide right. I mean, oh, my God.
Terry Glenn.
Come on.
Terry Glenn.
Terry Glenn, R.I.P.
He was a monster.
Ooh.
Woo.
Man. This is fun. I like
Our
this.
receivers, man. My goodness. David
Big
Boston.
cat.
David Boston. He was a beast. Joey Galloway.
Oliver says Pat Elfline. Be nice to have a center in there.
Yeah.
That Michael Jordan, somebody who actually should be playing center.
Right.
Michael Jordan's a great offensive lineman, but he should be playing left guard. Or hell, even tackle. He's 6'7", 315. You want a center that's 6'7"? Come on, man. Doesn't make any sense. But it'd be nice to have a guy like Pat Elfline, Billy Price in there playing center like it's supposed to be played. Jacoby Bourne, all 5'11", 265, whatever he was. They listed him at, I think, 6 foot or 6'1", but come on.
Yeah.
We all know that wasn't the case.
It's good stuff.
Well, that's probably going to do it. You want to touch on any Buckeyes in the NFL real quick? Or we got
Zeke
four
balled
guys.
out.
Zeke
balled out,
baby.
hurdling over people.
They finally gave him the ball.
Oh, wow. What a revelation, coaching.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's almost like you should target
But
your
that
best
hurdle,
players on the
man,
field.
that hurdle. Woo!
I mean, that man was pretty much standing straight up.
No, he was. He was up straight
And
up.
then he had he got a little dinged there and by a helmet, which I think is why he lost his balance. 187 yards for Zeke and 2 scores. Not too bad.
Not too bad.
Another guy with 2 scores, Michael Thomas, one of the best receivers in the league. 8 grabs, 70 yards.
The whole Saints team just embarrassed the Bengals.
Oh, my gosh.
Embarrassed them. They saved them from being on TV. A lot of people were crying when they went on TV. I call it the Baker Mayfield effect.
Dude.
If we didn't have Baker Mayfield, we wouldn't have been on TV that week.
There's so many more Browns fans in Columbus than Bengals fans.
But if we didn't have Baker, we would not have been on TV this week. I'm telling people, if Baker was not our quarterback, the Bengals would have been on, and they would have seen him get beat down.
Well,
it's the Baker Mayfield effect.
That's
what it was because
we feeling dangerous today?
Yeah, we were on. Oh yeah, we were on TV when we played the Saints. I'm telling people, if Tyrod was starting, the Bengals was on TV.
Well,
everybody wants to see Baker.
He's not. Got the third win of the season,
and he was feeling dangerous.
3-6-1.
Just saying.
Kerry says Bengals are trash. You got that right. Good thing they hired Hugh Jackson. Eli Apple had 3 tackles, 2 pass breakups, and a interception. Good for him down in New Orleans. Seems to be getting a fresh start. And Nick Van Nett had another touchdown, his second in 2 weeks. My God.
All right.
That's what I'm talking about. That's going to do it for the show. There's some comments in the comment section about some sort of scandal. I don't know what you're talking about because I got nothing to say.
Nothing to say.
It's weird.
Appreciate you, Kyle. It's a good show. Thanks for putting it on.
Thanks,
Much
Kyle.
appreciated. Thank you guys for tuning in.
Indeed.
Make sure you follow us, like us, share us around the world. It's Fan Chat Nation.
Bingo.
Because you know what we do.
Voice of the fans. We're here every Tuesday, 7:30 to 9, the Everything Buckeye Nation show. If you missed us, catch us Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play, all of the above. And my mom says she loves me some Baker. I'm becoming a Browns fan a little bit just because.
Oh, yeah. Let's go.
Baker
Jump on
Mayfield,
that
Denzel
bandwagon.
World.
Yeah, jump on that brand.
Hey,
We're
man,
taking
I'm
applications because
saying,
we've been
yeah,
terrible
is
for
that right?
years.
Is that right?
We've been terrible for years. We're taking applications.
Well, enjoy it. Enjoy it. You deserve it. There's no city that deserves some success on the gridiron more than Cleveland. So that's going to do it, folks. We appreciate you tuning in. We'll be back next week for the game preview show.
Get in here.
Go Bucks for producer Steve G. Corey Boyd. I'm Jake Smith signing off saying go Bucks. and OH.
I-O.
See you next week, folks.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot.